Hello everyone, this is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew Seahorn, bringing you a video this evening titled, The Successful Black Man's Natural Choice in Women. Yes, the successful black man's natural choice in women. This is going to be a great video here. But before we go any further, understand that tonight's video, it is inspired by my brand new book, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women, and also my amazing book, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. They're both available at www.matthewchorn.com. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's grow the channel. Let's help the cause. But once again, tonight's video, the successful black man's natural choice in women. This video was motivated by a Netflix binge. I was watching Boomerang, the 90s classic with Eddie Murphy and a plethora of great decorated black actors and actresses. We had Halle Berry, David Allen Greer, we had Robin Givens. It was a star-studded affair. Chris Rock, made his cameo. It was just great, and it was a bit of a love triangle. Eddie Murphy was the star character. I believe it was a movie that he wrote. And, he was a womanizer. He was a ladies' man. Every woman in the office, as soon as he stepped foot in the office, greeted him and with sexual energy, so to speak. He pretty much had his pick of the litter. He could have any woman he wanted in this particular movie. And, moving forward throughout the movie, he ended up, well, let me just talk a little bit about him, as a successful black man. He was, pretty much the top dog, the top guy in the advertising department of like a PR and like marketing firm, if I remember correctly. And it was all based on fashion. And, he was very respected. His co-workers that weren't as quite high up as he was, the Martin Lawrence, David Allen Greer, really looked up to him. They were boys, they hung out. But, he was the star attraction any way you sliced it in this movie. Okay. In walks Robin Givens. Now, his company gets bought out. Robin Givens is now holding the position that he thought he was going to get. So they're forced to work side by side. And, Robin Givens essentially, she's the object of his affection as soon as she gets there. And over time, she gives in, she seduces him. They get involved physically. And Robin just plays with him. She acts like it was nothing. She was just scratching the itch, so to speak. Eddie, the womanizer, the one who could let a woman go just because he doesn't like how her toes look, the guy that had everything in terms of women. He fell head over heels for her as soon as they got involved. Now, eventually, Eddie came back to his senses when Robin Givens kept playing games and, jerking him around and all that kind of stuff. He came back to his senses and found himself. Now, what was running parallel to this was that Halle Berry loved Eddie from the moment that she met him. It even got to the point that Halle saw that Robin was just, spreading all kind of stuff about Eddie, talking about how good he was in bed. This had Eddie coming into the office and embarrassed, and Halle actually confronted Robin. And Robin was just like, yeah, this seems kind of personal for you. And honestly, it was, because she was a very good woman. She didn't have the pizzazz, she didn't have the flash, the allure of Robin Givens, but she was a very simple, not completely made up, natural beauty who was steady in Eddie's life. So through a course of events, her, Halle Berry, and Eddie Murphy ended up getting together. They ended up becoming romantically involved. And right on cue, here comes Robin Givens, who kicked him to the curb, tries to insert herself back into the picture, just because of her ego. She stomped on him, she chewed him up, she spit him out, she dominated him. Even when they had sex, she always was on top. It was symbolizing how she dominated Eddie. She had to be overbearing. She had to win the interaction. She had to be competitive. She had to be, she had to be masculine. She had to be all of those very toxic traits that the successful black man is going to run away from with vigor. So he notices Halle. She's been there by his side the entire time. And him being a solid black man, he eventually got back to himself and says, I deserve someone who's in it just as much as I am. Halle was his natural choice because she cared for him. She didn't play games. She was an advocate of his. She helped him to move forward in his efforts, in his business, in his work. And they even shared a space together. They fell pretty fast. And when Robin tried to come back into the picture, Halle did the right thing. She chose herself. She wasn't passive, even though she was humble. And Halle told Eddie this: I don't have the flash that Robin has. I don't wear the makeup, and I don't have the glamour and the allure and everything. But she says I'm a good woman, and that resonated with Eddie. Even if it didn't hit him in that moment, that stuck with him. Okay, she packed her stuff and she left. She left Eddie's place and she moved on by herself. She got a new job. She started her own life because that's what a solid woman is going to do. She's going to choose herself if the man is not coming toward her the same way that she is coming toward him. So Eddie goes back to Robin, and when he's with her in bed, he realizes what he lost in Halle. The less glamorous, less made up, less successful, less alluring woman that was in his life, but that loved him, that supported him, and that wanted nothing but the best interest for him. And she kept herself looking good as well. She was a natural beauty that didn't need all of the makeup. Even though Robin Givens was portrayed as the more beautiful woman in the movie, Halle was still in shape, and she was a natural beauty and someone that any man would not overlook, that had any sense. Okay, so what ended up happening, Eddie is in the bed with Robin Givens, and essentially Robin is singing his praises now, like, oh, you moved on, you're more like your old self, you're more secure, you're not desperate like you were, you're not that man I was jerking around. And Eddie essentially says that in that moment he realized that he loved Halle. And Robin says, well, why are you here, in my bed? And Eddie says, precisely. And he went on and did what he had to do to get back in Halle's space. It wasn't easy, but the man was in love. And he understood that Halle was still in love with him. And him being the successful man that he was, the successful black man that he was in the movie, he stood in front of her, told her exactly how he felt toward her, and told her how things would be. Now, it was up to Halle to make the decision to allow him to come back into her space, but she loved him enough to take that risk. And what the point of making this video is that it's not always the most glamorous, the most beautiful, the most alluring, the most successful black woman that is a natural choice for the successful black man. It is simply the woman who gives him the best experience possible. Yes, she is attractive, but she may not be the most glamorous. She may not be runway ready. But believe me, if you have an attractive woman who's supportive, who stands behind her man, who holds him accountable, and also gives everything to that man that she is asking from him. And she's solid. She's in his corner. She's an advocate. She's going to bat for this man. She's supporting his dreams. She's in the trenches with him. I promise you, even if you're not the most glamorous, you are the type of woman that gets the ring. You are the type of woman that when you walk down the street with your man, you will have the frowned up faces on those extremely glamorous and beautiful women who were like the Robin Givens, who want to dominate men, who want to compete with men, who want to, not recognize that man is being a steady presence in her life, but just want to, more or less just be domineering in the situation and always win and be competitive and all of those toxic and masculine traits, as opposed to being feminine, being easy to be around, supportive, loving, caring, and having your man's back. That is the natural choice for the successful black man. And if you show up in this manner in his life, even if he doesn't see it immediately, he's going to see it and you will be his choice. But my belief about the successful black man is that he's together mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. So the only woman that can come into his space is a woman who is aligned the same way. And that is the natural choice for the successful black man. Once again, tonight's video has been brought to you by my brand new book, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. And also my great book, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. They're both available at www.matthewchorn.com. If this video has been of value to you, okay, my donation information will be in the description. If you felt like this video has elevated your level of consciousness and your understanding of male and female interaction and relationships, my PayPal information will be in the description. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also for men and women, I do provide dating coaching. I help you to get the outcomes that you want with the opposite sex and find yourself in healthy and enjoyable interactions. You can email me at matthewchorn23@gmail.com. Let's set up a consultation. I've enjoyed spending some time with you, and I'm coming right back after this with another video. I'll see you soon.